Hello, my friends. So it's June. Yay! It's hurricane season too. So that's what we're going to talk about a lot this week in our activities. Well, not so much in our activity, but in all that paperwork. So you have this lovely bag. It's our safety bag. There's a bunch of stuff in it. There's books, of course. There's possibly Little Red Riding Hood. If so, that's the book I'm going to be reading this week, and you can read along. If you got The Boy Who Cried Wolf, I'll be doing that one next time, and then you can read along. Otherwise, you can just listen to the stories. We have some information about mental health, right? What do you do if you have a crisis? Who do you call? Numbers. All right, we'll go over that. We have important information, health and safety coloring books, hurricane coloring books for your kiddos and your older kiddos. We have all those important phone numbers. I've probably given them to you before, but now you have them again in case you lost them. Right? So many important phone numbers. Jefferson Parish Guide. If you live in Jefferson Parish, we have NOLA Ready. You know those statues with the guy standing up like that? Let me show you the picture. These little guys, they're silver throughout the city. That's where you can go to evacuate. We'll talk about that. Oh, and you get a magnet. All right, stay calm, be prepared. What happens when the power goes out? What should you do? Homeland Security, Red Cross, lots of checklists for being prepared. What to check, how to check for lead paint in your house and that danger. And this is my favorite guide. Not only does it have stuff for you to chart and everything, but it also shows like with a flood, the evacuation, and it shows the contraflow. So when they tell us to evacuate, it tells you which interstates are going backwards and things like that. It's got so much good information in here as well as checklists. So you'll want to have all those things since it's now hurricane season. And we'll talk about your plans and what you're going to do in case of an emergency. Also more stuff. There's also stuff about the pool because we're talking about water, right? Water safety today. So a little pledge card for you. Are you going to be a water watcher? A little tag. One person at the pool, even if it's a kiddie pool in your backyard, gets to be the water watcher. You can take turns. That person will have their phone with them, but they won't be on their phone. Their phone will just be for the emergencies. They're going to regularly check and count the kid, make sure all the kids are good. They're going to be looking at the kids. They're going to be scanning the bottom of the pool. And you can take turns. That way you're not chit-chatting with somebody and worried about the kids. So you can take turns chatting and being the pool watcher. All right. So let's talk about using your senses and playing games and experimenting with cause and effect. If you're a cute little baby, you can use the little blow-up beach ball and other floaty things and get a little bin of water. It could be a bowl of water, and we're going to let your kiddo play in it, and we're going to see what they do. Now, for those a little bigger, you will have one, maybe two paintbrushes in your bag. So we are going to paint with water. So I just got a cup of water, and I could paint on my house. For those who are wondering, yes, I did get this recently repainted, but I could paint here or I can paint here. I have a box here. So what happens when I paint with water? Guess what? Nothing happens except the color changes. See? So we can talk to our kids about the color changing. We can talk to them what happens. If you paint on a wood fence, that's always fun because then the water, and we're just painting with water, just with water. The water dries and then you get to paint all over again, or even on the cement, on the sidewalk. Another fun thing, take a piece of paper or a paper towel. Here's a paper towel. Watch this. Put some water, and I can watch the water grow on the paper towel. Look at that. Oh, it's growing. I just tapped it in one spot, and then it grows. Clearly, my kid's paintbrush had other colors on it before. So that's kind of a fun one. You can talk to your kids about it going up, 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 up. Isn't that fun? Look at that. So that's a fun thing to do. You can also talk to them about just any piece of paper. Take one of the pieces of paper I gave you. Not an important one. And then like, what happens when you paint on the paper? It gets thinner, you can see through it. See that? There's all kinds of stuff. So you can do it, look, do it on the floor. I don't know if you can see the ground here, right? I paint, well, never mind. This one is newly painted, so it doesn't really do anything. But then that's another conversation, right? Like, oh, look at that. This new paint that was just put on this floor does not absorb the water the way that like an old wood fence might. So we are gonna experiment with water. What colors? Does it change things? What can we do with the water with our paintbrush? You can keep your little kids busy for hours. My mother loves to put the kids outside, watching them, of course, with cups of water and paintbrushes, lets them paint the fence, and then it all dries. Then they paint the fence again, and it all dries. So, lots of fun with water. I will see you this week. Stay safe.